HBO series True Blood was known for a lot of memorable vampire characters. One of my personal favorites is one who isn't brought up in too many True Blood vampire videos. Maybe it's because she doesn't appear until the end of the series, which is recognized by many as the show's downfall, but despite that being the case, she absolutely was a high point in the show, and that was the vampiress Violet Mazurski. Played by the actress Karolina Wydra, Violet is introduced in season 6 of the series when the resident manho Jason Stackhouse, after rejecting a vampire-hating religious leader named Sarah Newland, is thrown into a pen of female vampires that she is holding captive at a detention center. Violet, being the oldest, making her the strongest, decides to make Jason her personal pet and feed bag.
Ladies, please. He's mine.
On the bright side, this protected him from being cannibalized by a prison of hungry vampiresses. On the dark side, as we'll find out, Violet isn't exactly playing with a full deck. During conversations between the two during their time in captivity, we find out that Violet's age has her very loyal to old ways of doing things and is even a devout Catholic. That means she doesn't have sex before commitment and requires specific behaviors from Jason to make her happy. In other words, she's super controlling, as she's the opposite of the type of guy she should go for. This is not necessarily a bad thing, as for the one and only time during the series, Jason has no issues keeping it in his pants, at least for now, though it's more for fear of his life than respect. Eventually they all get out of the detention center, and much to Jason's dismay, the relationship continues despite them being free, as she not so subtly reminds him that when she says someone belongs to her, she means it. What makes matters worse in this scenario was that she drank magic vampire blood during their escape, which makes her immune to the sun, so he can't even use daytime to get away. Throughout the rest of Season 6, Violet is very loyal to Jason. If anyone even gives him a cross look, she pounces. This includes his sister Sookie, who she snaps at for speaking to him before Jason informs her who she is. Once she's told, her reaction is even weirder. Eventually, Jason warms up to Violet and begins to even enjoy having someone that unconditionally loyal to him at his beck and call, and the two eventually even have sex, with Violet beginning to take a more submissive role in their relationship after months of dominating him. This was probably the wrong thing to do for her, as later in Season 7, Jason, with that false sense of security, ends up sleeping with Jessica at a party with Violet hearing it. Surprisingly, instead of murdering him, she blames herself and attempts to make amends in the most awesome way possible, by being sexy and apologetic and telling him that she'll do better to not be so aggressive with him. This doesn't work, and she ends up breaking up with him, which would be fine, but breaking up in this situation means murdering everyone. She first lures fairy girl Adeline along with her boyfriend Wade away from the protection of Jessica to her place by telling them that she approves of their cross-species relationship and will hide them. That's when we see Violet's sex dungeon for the first time, which she gives the young couple access to. They end up not using it, but Violet then springs her trap, locking the two up there after confronting them in her dominatrix look. She then sends a picture of the kidnapped couple to Jason to lure him to her place, and he ends up getting captured as well, along with Jessica, who also went to save the young couple. That's when we get our evil villain monologue of Violet debating who she's going to torture first and how she was going to do it as revenge on Jason for not, in essence, giving into the Stockholm Syndrome she was attempting to force on him. Before she can finish, Hoyt shows up with a gun with wooden bullets and shoots Violet through the heart, killing her. This was easily one of my favorite story arcs of the series, and one I don't think there's enough of when it comes to vampirism, as the whole idea that vampire-human relationships would be lovey-dovey like we usually see seems very far-fetched. It's a predator deciding to take its prey as a pet, which is more realistic to the situation. Anyway, Violet's impact on True Blood is undeniable. Her character added depth and intensity to the series, highlighting the dark aspects of the vampiress existence. Violet's story serves as a reminder of the thin line between power and madness, making her one of the most memorable characters on the show. Thanks for watching. If you like these recaps, please leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to know every time I update. There is now an option to be a channel member where you'll get access to exclusive recaps from late-night vampire catalogs like Showtime, Cinemax After Dark, USA Up All Night, and much more. If you want to help my channel grow, please check out my Patreon, where members can get exclusive content that can't be uploaded on YouTube, along with download options. Link is in the description.